distribution of the same, without endangering nature within and without, paving the way for a sustainable economic development, finally guaranteeing lasting peace and happiness. Can you think of a better economic doctrine than this? If only humanity had listened to him in the last 100 years and tried out this economic model, we will not be meeting here today to discuss Save Planet Earth. Creation of wealth through fair means, equitable distribution of the same, without endangering nature within and without, paving the way for a sustainable economic development, guaranteeing lasting peace and happiness. Had we listened to him, this war in Ukraine would not have happened. But we ignored the man. Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough for man's need to be met, but not his greed. But today, thanks to the new economic reforms and science and, there are too many scientists here, science is not to be blamed. It is how we make use of science. You know what Swami Vivekananda said? A Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan man will speak like this, bear with me. I will not quote from scientists and economists, but those great people had answers for all challenges. Swami Vivekananda said, synthesis of science and spirituality is essential. Science by itself or spirituality by itself will not make any sense. There has to be a synthesis of science and spirituality, said Swami Vivekananda. But we have forgotten all that. We thought education means pumping in information and knowledge. Even our colleges, though we call it as arts and science colleges, science is given the priority and not arts. That is why there's no holistic holistic development among our youth today. There's a lopsided development happening, pumping in information and knowledge without any wisdom whatsoever to tell the youth what he has to do with that knowledge and information. As a result, in the last 150 years, I narrated to you 10 challenges. Those are all have happened. So my request to the Vice Chancellors here, we call it as College of Arts and Science. Sir, I make a recommendation to you. Too many Vice Chancellors here. If you agree to me, it will happen. The colleges should be known as Colleges of Arts, Science and Culture. Give a hand for that, please, reluctantly even. You too, sir. Because only you support this will see the light of the day. What can I do? I am a small man. I am a too small a man. But if you 60 or 70 Vice Chancellors make up your mind and if you bring in that component, it is possible. Only science will answer all questions of humanity's wrong. The man who deals with the science should know what he has to do with science, or else science can be extremely dangerous and destructive. Now, I'm not saying it's not my words. Just listen to what Dr. Radhakrishnan had to say. Education to be complete has to be humane. It should include not only the training of the intellect, but the disciplining of the heart and refinement of the soul. I'm told in UNESCO it is written, but not in our universities. We don't need Bharati. We don't need Vivekananda. We don't need Mahatma Gandhi. We are all carried away by a new wave of science and research. Yes, it is essential. Without science and technology and research, we cannot advance. But some research has to happen within us. That is just not happening. So friends, I wind up with one more quotation of Dr. Radhakrishnan, very, very critical. I'm sorry, some of them are sleeping here. Here, in the first row. Physical fitness and intellectual alertness are dangerous if spiritual illiteracy prevails. Please allow me to repeat it for you. Physical fitness and intellectual alertness are dangerous if spiritual illiteracy prevails. To you, Honorable Vice Chancellors, you are the only saviors for the nation today. The policy makers, the politicians, the bureaucracy have all let us down. Now, if at all there is some hope left for this country and humanity, it is you, Vice Chancellors. You must have the guts to speak out and tell us what in the name of education we should do. Or else we will have to encounter a lot of challenges. So my request to this great association headed my good friend, Sri Thiruvasagam, we have been friends in the Rotary for a very long time. Sir, I am talking to you. You shouldn't do this talking. We have come at your invitation. We demand your attention. Dr. Thiruvasagam and myself have been friends in Rotary for 30, 35 years, I suppose. And he, as a college principal, invited me for a conference and I went there. So today when he invited me here, I hesitated to come because I am no match to any of you. I have no business to stand here and speak to you. You're all wise men. But still to respect the request of my good friend and the Vice Chancellor of Bharatiyar University, I have come. If you think I have made any sense in this 15 minutes given to me, I will be happy. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My final request to you, Vice Chancellors, please pick up the courage and change the system to make it more holistic. Listen to Vivekananda's Man-Making Education. There is a beautiful book, Man-Making Education of Swami Vivekananda. Just read that one book. You will understand what education is all about. One quotation of him I'll tell you and I close. He says, it goes like this: teach yourself, teach everyone his true nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, and all that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. இதை விடவா ஒரு நல்ல கொட்டேஷன் நீ உலகத்தில் எங்கே தேடினாலும் கிடைக்க போகுது. நம் பெரியவர்கள் கல்வியை பற்றி சொன்ன அளவுக்கு நம்புங்கள், உலகத்தில் யாரும் சொல்லவில்லை. எல்லாவற்றையும் விட்டு விட்டு கண்டதை காட்சி கொண்டதை கோலம் என்று இந்த தேசம் போய்கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. The so-called economic development from 3% to 8% is misleading. What we want is a holistic human development. Not your GDP is not the ultimate. So my request to all who have gathered here, all of us should give a thought to this, and I compliment the organizers for having hosted it in Coimbatore, because Coimbatore is a place of hospitality, sir. I சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். If at all we are good in any one thing, it is only this thing. That's why I understand some of you have already left for Isha, I believe. Some others are still waiting, I suppose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we are profusely elated to invite our guest of honor and the Honorable Member of Parliament, Dr. T.R. Parivendar, who is the Founder Chancellor of SRM University, to deliver the special address.
President of AIU, Secretary General of AIU, VC Bharatiyar University, Thiru Krishnaraj, Chairman KCT Group, Dr. Ramadevi Pani, Editor, University News AIU, Vice Chancellors, Deans, Directors, and my friends from media and press. I am trying to speak as short as possible. However, due to some reasons, if exceeds 2 to 3 minutes, kindly bear. Let me in advance. because as he said, you are all hurry in going to Isas Mayam. But anyhow, be patient. Esteemed Vice Chancellors of Southern Region, I, as the Chancellor of private deemed to be university, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, consider this an opportunity to address you all as a proud privilege. I am very much delighted that at last private sector in education has got its due recognition, because we were longing for it. It has taken its own time, but now breakthrough has been made. From being a teacher to raise the level of a chancellor, I would say it is a dream run. Normally reserved for top government functionaries like governors and ministers. Our SRM group runs 4 universities and numerous other education institutions offering quality education with more than 75,000 students from all parts of this country and from 60 countries globally. The flagship university, SRM, Institute of Science and Technology, is accredited with the A++ by NAC, first major university to achieve this status under the revised methodology. It is also classified as a Category 1 university by UGC. SRM had also the unique distinction of hosting 98th Indian Science Congress in 2011. It's a very, very unique feature. That opportunity was given to us in 2011, the first ever private university to do so. Even the last week, Prime Minister called the private sector participation in a big way in medical education in the context of Ukraine war. Actually, that call is applicable not only to medical education, but also to other disciplines too. Governments talk about public and private partnership in education, but private sector is always given a stepmotherly treatment. Madam, we are always given stepmotherly treatment. Government talk about public-private partnership in education, but private sector is always given a stepmotherly treatment. Further, norms and standards are inconsistently applied for the private and public universities. With globalization, industry has opened its doors to private sector, and even existing age-old PSUs are becoming private ones. Why? World has moved away from simple performance to performance with high efficiency. Earlier, goods were delivered in a leisurely time frame, but now people want everything in double quick time. The most important reason for all this is that people's aspiration and expectation are changing every passing day. To meet such heavy demands only, countries embracing private sectors in a big way. Now, who will supply the manpower to the industry? Is it not the education sector? Therefore, it is no wonder that people and government are now looking up to the private sector to enhance quantity and quality in education. I am not telling that public sector in education is outdated, but there is a huge vacuum which can only be filled by private sectors. A healthy competition between public and private universities will result in enhanced quality, and the end users are finally the students. But will the private university rise up to the expectation? Just look at NIRF ranking will show us how private institutions are fighting their way upward. Research is no more the hallmark of only the government institutions. Private institutions are also catching up rapidly. We need mutual understanding, recognition, respect, and cooperation between private and public universities, all to be treated on par, purely on merit. Value should be given to current performances. Be it allotment of government funds or establishment of facilities, both government and private universities should be treated equally. Both private and public universities should grow together, not one at the cost of the other. Strength of one should strive to remove the weakness of the other. Now, NEP is being implemented in a big way, and we are the people who are responsible for its effective implementation. Time for seminars and webinars are over. It is now time for action. Hard decisions have to be taken. Disruptions will be there, old, and irrelevant ideas may have to be thrown out. But good traditional practices which can do wonders even now have to be retained. At the same time, implementing things here and there and make show of it in a big way will not help. That is a politician way of doing things. It's only for 5 years. But what we should do here is that we should benefit the generations of students to come. Implementation should be in letter and spirit. Academic bank of credits is a path breaker. Now, as per the latest amendments, all institutions are eligible, irrespective of their NAC gradings or NIRF ranking. Till now, a student, once he or she gets an admission, has to put up with the same single institution, whether it meets his or her aspiration or not. But post-NEP is no longer going to be like that. After earning the mandatory 50% of the credits, one can, from one institution to another, and earn the remaining credits to qualify for the degree through implementation of credits stored in ABC. If we are not careful with equality, there will be a loss of revenue, but also our reputation. Another landmark cause in NEP is option for early exit. Dear Vice Chancellors, it is a double-edged sword. If you are not careful, we will end up with sending out potential students with mere diploma rather than the degrees. This may happen to those students who are socially and economically disadvantaged as well. Hence, when we frame our regulations, we should ensure that early exit option is exercised not as a rule, but as a rare exception. I will stress this point with an illustration. Let us say a student becoming disadvantaged, let us say a student belonging to the disadvantaged community from poor to background joins engineering. He is a brilliant one, but after 3 years, he may get a low-paying job with a diploma. He will naturally opt for the same. Such incidents should be prevented. Industries are saying that the graduates are unemployable. Though we cannot accept their statements as such, we too have to do our homework. India is poised to become a superpower in 2030. Our education should impart all the knowledge that's required to make India the superpower. Each one of our institutions should aspire to become a multidisciplinary education and research-based university. And our graduates should be equipped to contribute to varied sectors like defense, medicine, engineering, and healthcare. The COVID pandemic has brought out the best in our abilities. The way we have tackled the same is an object lesson for others to emulate. It is really commendable how SRM Hospital played its role in carrying out the clinical trials for the timely release of Covaxin. I am also proud to look back how SRM students designed a nano satellite way back in 2011 and launched it in collaboration with ISRO, whose orbit is still being tracked at the ground station at SRM even after 12 years. That was a real and groundbreaking multidisciplinary effort indeed. Now I come to concluding part of the address. There is a worrying thing currently happening among the educators. We are the people who are supposed to encourage students and faculty, allowing them to think freely and fearlessly. But now, we ourselves follow the directives of the governments of the day without questioning them and without pointing out any flaws in them. This is a dangerous trend indeed. We, the educators, are watchdogs of the collective conscience of our country. If we make compromises on this, we will be betraying the dream of our founding fathers of this constitution. In Tamil, there's a popular saying, Netrikan Thirapinam Kutram Kutrame, meaning it is the utterance of the popular poet Nakiran towards Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, everybody will know. We should live up to it. Finally, I end up with Rabindranath Tagore's immortal lines, where the mind is without fear, where the head is held high. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Colonel Dr. G. Tiruvasagam. Next, I invite Dr. G. Tiruvasagam, former Vice Chancellor of Bharatiya University and University of Madras, and present the Vice Chancellor of Amit University and the President of AIU, to deliver the presidential remarks.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of this esteemed university and my Vice Chancellor as well, Dr. Professor Kaliraj, beloved Mrs. Vice Chancellor, Madam on the dais, revered and most respected Dr. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, most respected the Member of the Parliament and the Chancellor of 4 Universities of India, the Chief Guest of this program, Dr. Parivender, member of MP, beloved and respected Secretary General of Association of Indian Universities, Dr. Pankaj Mittal, my colleague on the dais, Dr. Amma Bani Devi, the lady behind the success of this 2 days conference, Dr. Laulena, respected registrar, my friend Dr. Murugavel, members of the syndicate and senate, above all, most importantly, my colleague vice chancellors from different parts of the state and other participants. Why we have chosen Dr. Krishnaraj Vanavar Iyer and Dr. Parivender as a chief guests of this valediction. As we have deliberated elaborately for the last 2 days, especially on SDG 4, Sustainable Development Goal 4, inclusiveness, equity, and excellence in higher education. We read the policy, we discussed the goals, but we want to see the people already who are in practice. That's the reason we invited both of you, sir. Of course, you have given a beautiful lecture, thought-provoking lecture, informative lecture, which one rarely we vice chancellor get from dais, from the chief guest. Your speech is really excellent, sir. Take our member of parliament. Sir, equivalence nothing but அனைத்து அளவிலுள்ள மக்களுக்கும் ஒரே மாதிரியான தரமான கல்வியை கொடுத்தல், அனைத்து தரமான மக்களுக்கும். That's most important. Not only to the affordable people. For your kind information to the vice chancellor from other states, Dr. Parivender, every year he gives free education for 300 poor children from his constituency. Every year. Every year. He has private university, but he has the kind heart of extending hand to poor people in the community as well. Likewise, can you believe 300 seats not in arts and science? Again, I will take it as a recommendation in the national conference. Hereafter, the colleges can be named as arts, science, and culture. Definitely, sir. It's going to be another recommendation in our governing council as well. It's very apt also. I think I would like to recollect. One day when I was in the chamber of Vice Chancellor of Bharatiya University, a team of people came with the headship of Dr. Vanavar Iyer. Yes, sir, what I can do? You, Vice Chancellor, you offer many programs. Why not a program under the title of Human Excellence should be introduced? I still remember this day. Personally, you came, sir. You need not. You could have sent somebody as well. Then we have included Human Excellence is one of the papers. Now it is being recognized throughout India. Now in our system, in our syllabus, prescribed by UGC, AICTE, it is made as compulsory part of one. So you are the beginner, you made it, sir. That's most important. Likewise, our Parivender has touched many people. So I'm telling, I'm not underestimating arts and science colleges. Giving free education, arts and science, comparatively okay. But giving free education, 300 students in medical science is very great thing as well. We bow your head, sir. That's most important as well. So I thought of, why not we invite people already who are practicing the STG goal 4 for giving education to all level, the quality education. That is one of the reasons we invited you, sir. Thank you very much. It's a really tribute on behalf of all the vice chancellors of the country as well. Likewise, most of you may not be knowing, people from other side, Dr. Pallachi Mahalingam, stalwart, giants, is a founder of many organizations, not only colleges, not only schools, but institutions of different nature, different objective, like Bharat Bharati Bhavan like that. During his period, he spread not only education, he spreaded Kantian thoughts, spreaded human values. And the same tradition is being followed by the chief guest of this day, Dr. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar. So, we would like to take this occasion to pay tribute to Dr. Pollachi Mahalingam and his disciple and family of Krishnaraj Vanavarayar. I would like to thank you, sir. We have respect to you, sir. Sir, Dr. Vanavarayar made it as a point. Sir, I would like to differ from you because AU is very unhappy about your statement. You told AU also not giving equal importance for private universities, private organizations. No, not AU. The thing is, sir, you are seeing this president of AU is from private university right now. Okay, that is most important as well. It's okay. And more or less, the president AU is fighting equally for private university also. I have a lot of examples. Correct example is what you know. 96 years old AAU, until last year, not invited single chancellor of a private university to come to the dais. Are you able to understand? As far as India is concerned, the contribution comes from private universities equal, sometimes more than the public university. I am eligible to talk because I served in 2 state universities of University of Madras and Bharatiyar University. Today, I am completing my 10th year in a private university as well. I know the contribution from state university. I know the contribution from private university as well. No way private universities are inferior as far as giving output and input to the higher education of India. So that is the reason I made it as a point. And I requested our Madam Pankaj Mittal from the first conference onward. It's the 5th conference, regional conference. Hereafter, in all the regional conferences, one of the particular region, chairman of the chancellor of the conference should be invited as a chief guest in the conference. Now we made it as a practice. We made it as a practice. When it was conducted by central zone, we invited Dr. G. Viswanathan because he has the university there in Pobal. So we made him as the chief guest. Today is a south zone, sir. We recognize your good service to the higher education, sir. That's why we invited a chancellor from private university as the chief guest of this day. So AU gives lot of importance, equal importance to the private universities as well, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Then, one to case studies alone, not speech, not speech. There are examples in Bharatiyar University itself, how they are very careful about, I was careful about, Dr. Kaliraj is very careful about, adapting inclusiveness and basically equity and quality education. My dear friends, when I joined as the Vice Chancellor, first case study, joined as the Vice Chancellor, please, Vice Chancellor, think about it in your university also. We may be doing already, for which my respects are due to you. When I have taken the Vice Chancellorship, I was told, because I came from Madurai, there are very good self-finance colleges in Coimbatore. All are offering very good courses, including self-financing courses. Infrastructure is very fine, but the fee what they are charging is high. When compared with the state universities, I felt very bad because I came from a very, very, very poor family. I struggled a lot even for 3 times food during my lifetime. I didn't have even pant and shirt when I have completed my college education. When power came to me as the Vice Chancellor, I had taken a decision. During my Vice Chancellorship, poor children should be taken care. Then I called all the secretaries of the colleges to my chamber. Secretaries came to my chamber, including secretary from all big colleges. I made an appeal. Hello, sir, you are doing good work. We appreciate you, but please think about reducing the fee structure. You have a lot of good courses. The students cannot, poor student cannot. Okay, after listening me, one secretary told, sir, you university, you don't have any right to interfere in our fee fixation and all. You need not ask all these things. I anticipated this reply. Then I had another request. Yes, sir, I need not. I don't have any legal authority on you. But I can put a question with you. What? I will give you extra seat in each course as an extra seat from the university. I will give you extra seat. BCom 50 means I am giving 55. BSc chemistry 40 means I am giving 45. Okay, extra. The extra seat students should be admitted in your college. They should be given free boot, free lodging and free fees and all. What is your opinion? They said, sir, we want some time, we discuss. Okay, please sir, shall we go? I will go out, be here, discuss, I will come back. Within another 10 minutes, they called me. Sir, it is very much agreeable, sir. We are giving free education to all the people of your category. What do you have mentioned, sir? Is it okay? 150 colleges, average 20 students, and I put a condition. University will give centralized admission. University will give advertisement. Universities will recruitment, and we will send the boy PAG Arts College, Kumaraguru College, all colleges, the students will walk into that. Like that, can you believe? 600 students the first year itself, admitted in all the self-financing colleges. I have opened a separate section with the deputy registrar to supervise and to see that the programs are being carried out successfully as well. It was followed continuously. Even today, I'm happy about Professor Kaliraj. The program is being continued. Every year, 500 students, without paying single pie, they are taking very good education. After completing their course, they are communicating to me saying that I am their God. No, God is who is nothing but Bharadiyar. He fought for everything. This is STG number 4, sir. Am I right, sir? This is STG number 4. I introduced that to University of Madras also and in University Department also. This is one. Number 2, I will finish it quickly. There was a counseling session going on in the Department of Management Studies and MCA in the Bharadiyar University. Just ended. The professors were there. And a lot of students with a lot of dissatisfaction standing outside the department. I casually asked, a farmer I believe, looks like, what happened? Sir, list already pasted, sir. List ஒட்டிட்டாங்க சார். எங்க பேர்லாம் இல்ல சார். நாங்க எதிர்பார்த்து வந்தோம் சார். கவர்மெண்ட் யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஃபீஸ்னா நான் எப்படி சார் கட்ட பெற முடியும்? எங்களால படிக்க முடியாது சார். I called, I think that time Dr. Manickam was there, in charge for computer, Dr. Devi, somebody, I'm sorry, I'm not able to remember. Come. How many people you called? Sir, we called 2 batches of people and we are able to accommodate only batch of 60 students. What about another 60? We cannot. We cannot. As Vice Chancellor, I am giving standing order. We are going for one more section today, admit all the rest of the 60 students. Sir, Vice Chancellor can do, Vice Chancellor can undo also, provided he has the mind of helping these people. Somebody told, sir, syndicate permission, I know how I can ratify the permission from the syndicate. I have taken to the syndicate, all the syndicate members, including my brother Saravana Kumar is there, unanimously they are appreciated and given sanction for it, I am telling. 2 sections, those days started, still the section is continuing. That is STG number 4. Equality, equivalence. It's okay, sir. The third simple one. During my period, there was no strike at all, both by faculty, teaching staff, non-teaching staff. There is only small resistance from one section of the students. Because we have hiked the PhD fees to some extent. Because many years they have not increased. That time one girl came to my room, looks very, very bad in dress and very pathetic situation. She came to me, sir, Vice Chancellor, sir, you raised the fees. Fees are கூட்டி விட்டீங்க சார். நான் யார் தெரியுமா சார்? எங்க அப்பா யார் தெரியுமா சார்? எனக்கு கூலி வேலை பார்க்கறாங்க சார். நான் எப்படி சார் பணம் கட்டுவேன்? என் வயிற்றுச்சல ஏன் சார் கொட்டிக்கிறீங்க? This was the demand from the girl. Demand from the girl. I said, how can I do it? It's a uniform decision. No, sir. What I did, you know, I have not reduced. I have taken a list of students of those nature and given free education. That's not most important. One gentleman came from National University of Singapore, one Chaudhry. He is the in charge for international Indian students. He asked, can you have any student who can come over to Singapore University, National University of Singapore, to do some research, sir? That girl, Gayatri, came to my mind, who fought with me for fee structure. I called that girl. I introduced to Chaudhry. Sir, this is a girl. She is from a very poor family. Can you take it? She had a discussion chatting with the 10 minutes, sir. After that, he said he is prepared to take it her kind information, sir. We have sent her to Singapore, National University of Singapore. She has successfully completed her MS and now she is very much well placed. These are all the case studies of nothing but sustainable development goals, sir. So thank you very much, every one of you, including starting from Professor Kaliraj and end with the security saluted for us for the last 2 days. Thanks for everything in single word, sir. Sir, all of you please stand up, give a standing ovation to the Bharatiyar University for having hosted this university in a successful way and continue the tradition of taking care of higher education, sir. Thank you, sir.
May I now request Dr. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General, AIU, to share her valuable insights and remarks with us.
Honorable President of AIU, Dr. G. Thirapusagamsi, the chief guest of today's program, the Chancellor of SRM University, Dr. T.R. Paravinder, who is a friend for last 20 years, I suppose, Mrs. Vice Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor who has just gone out to see off the Chairman of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Ramadevi Pani, who is working with AIU and doing a very good work, Dr. Lavlina, who has taken care of all of you all these times, the esteemed Vice Chancellors, the faculty members and students present here. A very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Bharatiyar University, the entire team under the leadership of Vice Chancellor Dr. Kaliraj, for taking care of all of us, all means AIU and all the Vice Chancellors of the AIU family in the utmost sincerest manner and making us all very comfortable and making very good arrangements for the conference, including the technical session. The technical team was working very well. The food was very good, organized very well. So thanks to all of you from the bottom of our heart. AIU is grateful to all of you for this. This is the valedictory session in which we generally talk about what we learned all these days. Since yesterday, we are working on the SDG 4, that how the higher education institutions can contribute in SDG 4. And this is the 5th conference in the row. And in all the 5 conferences, we have discussed that how higher education institutions can contribute in realizing all the SDGs, not only SDG 4, but all the SDGs. And we could gather that there are many ways, but 4 major ways in which the HEIs can contribute. First, HEIs can contribute by realizing SDGs or practicing SDGs on their own campuses, like SRM is doing. Realizing SDGs on their own campuses, how like whether it is clean energy, whether it is hunger or poverty, I mean, practicing SDGs on their own campuses. Second, because you are having, like we have 3.7 crore students on our universities and colleges campuses. So sensitizing those students and the 15 lakh teachers and something like 50 lakh non-teaching staff on the importance of SDGs, on the importance of realizing SDGs, to see that we live in a sustainable world here onwards. So first is practicing SDGs on the campuses. Second is sensitizing the students, teachers, and the staff. Third is conducting research. So research can be conducted by the higher education institutions on many, many aspects relating to SDGs, whether it is poverty or increasing production or removing hunger or climate change or environment. So many aspects of SDGs can be taken up as research projects for the higher education institutions. And lastly, it transpired in one of our conferences that the government is doing when taking up, so many programs are happening or so many schemes have been taken up to realize the SDG goals. But many times the government doesn't know the impact study of those schemes. Whatever they are doing, they don't know how impactful it is. So if the higher education institutions can take it up as sort of a third-party survey on behalf of the government, that what is the impact of various schemes, that can be also a very, very valid contribution. As far as this conference is concerned, I feel the SDG 4 is very well laid down and interwoven in the national education policy. So if we implement national education policy in letter and spirit, SDG 4 will be taken care of. So we have to resolve that we will implement national education policy in letter and spirit, and that will take care of SDG 4. So with these few words, I will just request you once again to come to the Mysore conference. The Mysore conference will be the one in which all the 17 SDGs will be taken up together. And after the conference, because the United Nations is collaborating with us in all the conferences, all the 6 conferences, after the conference, we are going to bring out a very good report on all the 17 SDGs, that how the higher education institutions can contribute in realizing them. And a copy will be, and in that report, not only higher education institutions, how the government can contribute, how the regulatory bodies can contribute, how the private sector can contribute. And the copies of this report will be shared with the United Nations, with the Government of India, with the line ministries, with the Niti Aayog, and with the regulatory authorities, apart from all the vice chancellors, so that it can be implemented in letter and spirit. So we look forward to a very good report, and we look forward to seeing you all in Mysore. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Ramadevi Pani, the editor of University News, AIU, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Guest of this valedictory session, Thiru B. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, Chairman Bharati Vidya Bhavan and Chairman KCT Group of Institutions, Coimbatore. Esteemed Guest of Honor, Dr. T.R. Parvinder, Honorable Member of Parliament and Chancellor of SRM Universities. Most revered President, Association of Indian Universities, Professor Colonel G. Tiruvasagam, sir. Esteemed Vice Chancellor of Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, and Madam Vice Chancellor of Bharatiyar University, the First Lady of this university. Most acclaimed Madam Secretary General of Association of Indian Universities, Dr. Pankaj Mittal. Honored Vice Chancellors of different universities who have come to attend this meet and who have attended online too. Respected Registrar of this university, Dr. K. Murugovel, the Dynamic Nodal Officer of this meet at Bharatiyar University, Dr. Lavlina Littleflower, and equally Dynamic Nodal Officer at AIU, Dr. Alok Mishra, my colleagues from AIU and my colleagues from Bharatiyar University, distinguished guests, delegates, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the close of this 2 days Vice Chancellors meet on realizing sustainable development goals through higher education institutions for ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education. The meet was a great success, as we can understand the feedback and the reports presented here, and we have come out with tangible recommendations. As Madam said, we'll be sending the recommendations to all. And this is an opportunity and privilege for me to deliver a vote of thanks of this great conference which we have had. And this is very important because this is the time when we acknowledge the hard work done for months together for this conference. So this is acknowledgement, so I cannot, we cannot do away with it. Yes, for this valedictory session, we had Honorable Krishnaraj Vanavaraya, sir, who is the chairman of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, for delivering the valedictory address. And we all have heard, and it was scintillating and enlightening. He has reiterated Mahatma Gandhi and his thoughts on welfare, and we are very thankful to him. We were also privileged to have, as a guest of honor, a stalwart and social worker, I should say, and a politician who has brought so much of elevation to all the fields, both politics, social work, as well as academics. Dr. T.R. Parvinder. So we are very, very thankful to you. And I just here want to add to what our president said. Association of Indian Universities work not with competition, but with synergy of both private and public universities. And it is Association of Indian Universities which has been speaking on behalf of private universities since the private universities bill was passed in many states after this GATS agreement and all. There was some resistance. I was in AIU, so I'm just informing. There was resistance, but then it was AIU which stood for the private universities, and they said, as Dr. Vanavaraya said, we have to make every university fit to survive. That was our motto in AIU. That's how we have been working. And there are many private universities now as our members. For the inaugural session, we had the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri R.N. Ravi, and I'm thankful for his interesting inaugural address. And we also had the digital presence of Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Thiru M.K. Stalin, and on behalf of everyone, we are thankful to him also. AIU now has a very able intellectual thought leader as president, Dr. Colonel G. Tirusagam sir. We just heard about his views, and we have witnessed his initiatives in AIU as well. Much before his taking over as president, he was vice president, he had started his initiatives at AIU. We are thankful to you, sir, and we are thankful to you for guiding us to make this conference a success. And again, it is not possible to undertake the initiatives unless we have a good dynamic leader, CEO. So AIU is blessed with a very dynamic and vibrant Secretary General. I'm thankful to you, Madam, for all your initiatives, not only for this conference, but for many, many, many initiatives which are being taken at AIU after you have joined. I'm thankful to you on behalf of all the Vice Chancellors and everyone. And I'm thankful to the host university Vice Chancellor, Bharatiya University Vice Chancellor, Dr. P. Kaliraj, for hosting this event and making such meticulous arrangement. And I'm thankful to Madam Vice Chancellor for being a support to him to ensure that all the arrangements are taken care of properly. Thankful to you, Madam. I'm thankful to United Nations for being partnering with this conference, not only this conference, it's our partner for all the Zonal Vice Chancellors Conference which we have conducted, and for the National Vice Chancellors Conference too. We had representatives in all the meets, and here also we had representatives from UN as speakers. I'm thankful to Advisory Committee of the Bharatiya University, which is constituted of all syndicate members to organize this conference. The significance of the meet is to have scholars with insight and information and knack of chairing these sessions. I must say that we had very good Vice Chancellors to chair this session. I'm thankful to Dr. Panchanatham, Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Professor H. Venkateshwarlu, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Kerala, Professor P. Kanakasabhapati, Chairman ICSSR, and Professor S.P. Tyagarajan, Chancellor Avinashi Lingam University, Coimbatore, for chairing this session so aptly. I'm thankful to representatives of NAC, AICT, ICAR for their presence in the interface session with the Vice Chancellors and responding to all the queries. we had speakers from diverse background for various sessions, and they have given a lot of input. And in this sequence, I'm thankful to Dr. Prem Singh, Professor Gauri, Professor Saroj Sharma, Dr. Suniti Sanwal, Dr. Ritu Chandra, Dr. Velraj, Dr. Rajeshwar Rao, Dr. Nirmaljeet Singh Kalsi, Professor Gurmeet Singh, Professor Meera Sundararajan, Dr. Jeff King, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, Shri Atul Kumar Tiwari, Ms. Maya Sundararajan, and Professor Jamuna Duviri for their presentation as speakers in various sessions. I'm not telling their designations. We all know we have seen the conference. And I'm very happy to see an overwhelming response for this South Zone meet. We are all the more happy because after a long time we have had this physical meet. We were having online meets all these days, and it was very exciting, very enjoyable experience, and I'm very, very thankful to you all for coming here. We have requested almost all the Vice Chancellors over telephone, but only some of you could meet. Of course, it's a good bulk, but we are very, very thankful, and we, as Madam said, we request you for the Mysore meet also. I would be failing in my duty if I do not thank the individuals who were involved in conduct of meet. Actually, they were behind the screen. And in this series, I thank Dr. Murugavel, Registrar, Bhartiyar University, for his continuous effort to make this meet a success. At AIU, I thank Dr. Alok Mishra, Joint Secretary, Meetings Division, who is overseeing the arrangements at AIU. And I'm thankful to Mr. Vijendra Kumar and Satyapal, who in fact have been coordinating this meet very meticulously. And I'm thankful to Ms. Rekha and Yogita, who have been supporting pillars in organizing this meet. And apart from these, there was a contribution of all the staff behind the screen. I'm thankful to all the staff of AIU who have helped us in making this meet a success. I owe special thanks to Dr. Lavlina Littleflower, the nodal officer of the meet here at Bhartiyar University. And I'm actually thankful to all her team. There is a long list of team, 3 pages. I actually appreciate Vice Chancellor Sir to making this a collective event. Generally what happens, a small team is formed and they conduct everything, and rest of the people, they just keep staring. But involving so many people is a very good initiative to make a collective effort. But I'm sorry that I'm not taking names of everybody. I'm really thankful on behalf of everyone for making this meet a success. And yeah, of course, I'm thankful to the media, and I'm thankful to the cultural evening, which we had a feast of for our eyes yesterday. And I'm thankful to the catering people who had gave us sumptuous food. I'm thankful to DRDO for the guest house. And I'm thankful to the anchors, actually. They were sitting, generally the anchors stand and on the dais, but here we could just hear about their sweet sound, and they really made the program a success. Astha, Nagaraj, and the anchors of all these sessions. I'm thankful to all. Because of time constraint, I'm not taking the names of everyone. And yeah, for the valedictory and inaugural, we had good anchors. And once again, I want to state that I am most grateful to one and all who are involved in this meet, one way or the other. And I'm sorry if I had left out the names of anyone. There were many people I'm seeing working, those electricians, some lightmen, auditorium maintenance, the cleaning staff, everyone, and we are thankful to everyone. And with the oath that we will all work for sustainable development, SDG 4, I remain, and I am thankful to one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We once again thank all the honorable dignitaries and delegates. We hope all of you had a great time here. From all the brainstorming interactions, the networking tea sessions, and all the hallway conversations that you had in the last 2 days, we believe that these 2 days will be etched in your memory forever. At the closure of the session, may I kindly request all of you to stand up for the national anthem.
सिन्ध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all. We have arranged for the tea here. All of you can, all the vice chancellors can join the tea in the front of the auditorium. And for the faculty and delegates, it's arranged in the right side corner. Thank you.